What are zoodles? How do you make them? And will this spiralizer work? If you're new to the channel, I love unboxing products, trying them with you, and what my experience is natural, raw, unboxed. So we're gonna go ahead and open this spiralizer. All I did was cut open the box, and this is a very cool little bag. I purchased the 10 blade spiralizer. So there are some that have 10 blades, 5 blades, 7 blades, but when I looked on Amazon, the 10 blade was cheaper than some of the other ones. It looks like there is a recipe book down in the bottom. Oh, just an instruction manual. The recipes are on you. I did find a recipe that we're gonna go ahead and do, which is the Zoodles, which are zucchini noodles. And this looks like it's the little gadget. I'm very excited about this. If you've been around for a little bit, you know I'm not the cook in the family. But when I get these really cool little toys, I have to try them out, and I just love experimenting with them. My husband's just like a really good cook, but I'm kind of the sous chef. I do all the other food prepping for him. All right, so there was a little sticky that I guess is covering that blade. I might keep that. And it says chips and ribbons on it. Well, it slid out pretty easily. And then there's a couple down under here that are in the storage, and it says vermicelli blade and bucatini blade. Now, if you're Italian, please leave comments down below and let me know that I am mispronouncing all of these different noodles, because, you know, I'm just a girl from Northern Michigan and I don't speak Italian. Here's a couple other little parts, and let's see what's inside this bag for all of our other blades. And yes, they all have little covers over the blades, which is nice. This one says chips and thick cut. This one says, pappardelle blade. Okay, not sure what that is. Fine groovy chips, spaghetti blade, which is the one that we're gonna wanna be using today, a coarse groovy chip, linguine blade, and curly fries, which I have been using my air fryer for a lot of like homemade fries. So this is gonna be a really great way to make those and kind of make a little bit more fun shapes out of the sweet potatoes and the regular potatoes. It does say on the box what it is recommended for: zucchini, apple, carrot, onions, cabbage, beetroot, cucumber, turnip, potato, sweet potato, butternut squash, and radishes. So I'm gonna slide those back in, and we're gonna use the spaghetti blade. I put one back in there without the little sticker back on there, which I'm gonna put that back on. And then we want this spaghetti blade. I am going to put that right back where it was. And that snaps in pretty easy. So let's look at the instructions, and it goes through all the different blades and kind of what you're gonna get as far as the noodle cut or the size of everything. This is gonna go on this end, screw on my handle. Okay, Angie, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Let me do it this direction, and then that will make more sense in my brain. We are gonna make zoodles. So what we need to do is get some zucchini. I have some garlic and a tomato from the garden. I have watched a couple videos, because, you know, I had to do a little bit of research before I bought it. We're gonna make 2 flat ends with our zucchini. I'm gonna start with the smaller one. Now, when you're growing in your garden, you're gonna get different sizes of zucchinis. I'm doing a big and a small. It's just kind of what we had from the last time we went out to the garden. And these were in the refrigerator overnight. They are cool. I don't know if that's gonna help or not. With your left hand, push the handle towards your right and rotate. Okay, well, if you're right-handed or left-handed, you might want to do this a different direction, but I am going to do it this way. I'm kind of ambidextrous. I'm a little left and right. This zucchini is not perfectly straight either. I'm going to put the bigger end over here, so it's easier to push it just like that. I think we're just going to start spiraling. Are you guys ready? We'll see how well it holds into place. There it goes. Let me turn this so you guys have a better view. There's a handle right here. Oh, they want you to hold that too. So there is another little handle right here on the side that goes up and down, and I push that down. So apparently that's another place that you can kind of hold on to it and hold it into position. I don't really like that. I feel like I'm going nowhere. I feel like I want to hold it up here and push this way. On, off. Oh my gosh, there are suction feet. See, this is why I love doing this with like just a full honest review. So it has an on-off button, so I'm gonna turn it on. Oh, now we are locked down to my cutting board. Okay, but my cutting board is moving all over the place. Hold on, I'm gonna get a wet towel. If you guys don't know that, putting wet towels underneath of your cutting boards stops them from moving all over the place. Let me go grab that. See, because I'm the prep cook for my husband, I know these things. So that's gonna help kind of hold your cutting board in place. All right, let's try this again. This definitely is going to take a little bit of some practice. And the suction cup, a little less than stellar. It's definitely better than spiraling it by hand, and it's taking it all the way down. Look at that, we got some really amazing spiral. This is just like a center core. Pop that off, and it's a cute little end. You just pop that in your mouth and eat it if you want to. If you don't eat a lot of carbs, you still like your spaghettis like me. I like all of my pastas. My husband teases me when we go out to eat that I'm always getting the big pasta dishes. I am going to straighten the end of this one just a little bit. I grabbed myself a wet paper towel, and I'm just gonna kind of moisten this little sticky, because you know, suction cups usually, there, it fell off. Suction cups usually work better when they are a little moist. All right, suction cup it first, then put your zucchini on it. There we go. Once it flattens out, it definitely works a little bit better. It needs to find its groove. And my suction cup is totally not working again. But I'm also doing it on a cutting board, so let's try something else. Let's see if it helps doing it straight on my countertop. I don't know how you push. Oh, we're so much more stuck to my countertop, and I can use this other handle now. So it wasn't working very well on my cutting board, which was just that wooden surface, but it's definitely sticking to my countertop. Oh yeah, I can use the side handle. She was really stuck. Now I'm assuming I can just pull this blade out, and then we can give this a good rinse and wash all of this off. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and then we're gonna make these into a zucchini recipe. So these are fresh tomatoes out of my garden. So we're just gonna cut these up into really small, little bite-sized pieces. I just ran out to the garden and grabbed myself a few more tomatoes. This time I grabbed some Romas, just because I think I'm gonna want more tomatoes. I'm gonna cheat on the garlic. I actually really like my Pampered Chef little gizmo here that crunches up my garlic for me, just because it gets a lot of the good garlic juices out. Now comes the fun part with cheese. A lot of recipes I read said Parmesan cheese, but I'm actually gonna use smoked cheddar because we really like the flavor of like these smoked cheeses. I am going to freshly grate up some of this. And again, Pampered Chef. No, I'm not sponsored by Pampered Chef. No, I don't have an affiliate with Pampered Chef. We'll just buy a lot of their stuff. I did about a cup of the shredded cheese. Okay, let's take all these over to the stove and start cooking it. I'm going to use some grape seed oil. Then I'm gonna add my garlic. We'll get that amazing garlic smell going in the house. This family likes spice, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a half a teaspoon of some red pepper flakes. Then once our oil starts snapping and popping, we're gonna go ahead and add our zucchini noodles. Now the zucchini noodles are really long, so if you wanna kind of pull them apart and make them a little bit shorter, you can do that as well. They rip apart pretty easy. And I did not use all of the zucchini noodles. I still have quite a bit left. I'm going to refrigerate these and use them for a dish later. The last couple minutes, I'm gonna add a whole bunch of fresh basil that I just picked off my indoor hydroponic system. I did about 4 leaves. Now we're gonna add in those beautiful tomatoes because I can really start to feel this breaking down. It's feeling very much like spaghetti. It has the same consistency. Now I don't want this to get too mushy, so I'm gonna start pulling it out. Now if you wanna thicken this up and use it for a sauce, you can add just a little bit of cornstarch and water. And I did probably about 2 tablespoons. Now my husband taught me this for making gravy. Okay, let's not forget our cheese that we're gonna sprinkle on top. And if you want more sauce, you can grab this that's now been thickened up. And I'll say it again, I'm not the cook in the family, but if I can make this, pretty much anyone can. I really like that I have the option to make something more from our zucchinis than just cutting them up or freezing them. And this was really easy and fun to do. Wow, they still have an amazing crunch to them. They look like they would just be super soft and mushy, but they're not at all. You could add more basil, you could add hot peppers. There's so much to do with this spiralizer. I think the next thing I'm going to try is definitely the potato chips and whatever other vegetable that I can find in my garden that I can spiral into all different crazy shapes. So for the price of this, I think it is amazing. As someone who doesn't cook, this was super easy. I'll leave the next recipe to the husband and I'll just keep spiraling my way into his kitchen. We'll see you on the next one.